head of Annowyn, was hosting a feast in his court one evening when he decided to go for a walk to Gorsid Arbeth, a magical hill that either wounds or shows wonders to those who sit upon it. When Pwyll sat there, he saw a woman dressed in gold riding a horse slowly down the highway.
Does anyone know that woman? Someone, go find out who she is.
One of Pwyll's men set off after the mysterious woman, but the faster he rode his horse, the farther ahead she got. When his horse became too tired, he returned to Pwyll and told him what had happened.
There's something mysterious going on here.
The next night, Pwyll went to the mound again, and the same events occurred. The third night, Pwyll set out for the mound again, determined to go after the woman himself. But as fast as he rode, he never got any closer to her.
Lady, stop! Please, stop! Please!
I will, gladly, and you should have said please earlier. It would have saved your horse from wasting its energy running after me.
Lady, where are you from? And where are you going?
I'm doing my errands, and I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too. Lady, will you tell me about your errands?
My most important errand was to try to see you. My name is Rhiannon, and I am being forced to marry a man against my will. I have never wanted a husband because of my love for you. I still don't want to marry him, unless you reject me. I came here to hear your answer. Everything depends on your words.
Even if I had the choice between every woman in the world, I would choose you.
Well, if that's how you feel, then set a time for us to meet again, before I am given away to another man.
The sooner the better. Wherever you want.
They agreed to meet again a year from that night in the court of Rhiannon's father. A great feast was prepared, and the company was having a wonderful time when a man came into the hall. Pwyll did not know him, but the man greeted him immediately.
Hello, friend. Please, sit down.
No, I won't. I'm on an errand. It concerns you, actually, because I've come to ask you for a favor.
Whatever you want, friend. Whatever you want. As long as it's within my power, you can have it. Whatever you want, you've got it.
Oh, you idiot! Why did you answer him with those words?
Lady, he said that I could have whatever I want in front of all of these noble witnesses, and what I want is the woman he's planning on sleeping with tonight. I have come to ask for Rhiannon, and for the preparations, and the feast, too. That's what I'm asking for. And you said, Pwyll, that I could have whatever I asked for.
You better keep your mouth shut, Pwyll. Such a moron.
Hey, I didn't know who he was.
He's the man who I was supposed to marry, Gwal, which you would have known if you had asked him first, instead of offering him anything. Now, since you've given him your word, you better give me to him before you make yourself look even worse.
Lady, I don't know what to say to that answer. I could never do what you say to do.
Give me to him, and then I'll figure out a way that he'll never have me.
How?
And so Rhiannon came up with a plan, which she whispered to Pwyll as Gwal grew impatient.
Lord, it's time you answer my request.
You will have as much of your request as I can give.
As for the preparations and the feast, they have already been given to our troops, and I can't allow them to be given to anyone else. But a year from tonight, in this court, a feast will be prepared for you, my friend, and you will sleep with me then.
Everyone returned home, and all spent the next year waiting for the feast. When Gwal arrived, he was greeted joyfully, while Pwyll waited in the orchard for the end of the first course. Then he entered, dressed in rags, and introduced himself to Gwal as a beggar.
Welcome, friend. Ask what you want, and if it's reasonable, then I'll happily grant your request.
Oh, it's reasonable, Lord. I ask only to ward off hunger. This is my request. I want to fill this little teeny tiny mini bag with food. That's all I want.
What a small request. You're barely asking for anything. I'll gladly grant it. Bring this man food.
Servants began to fill the bag with food, but it was magic, and no matter how much they put in, it was no fuller than before.
Friend, will your bag ever be full?
Well, since you asked, no. Not unless a nobleman, such as yourself, my lord, presses the food down with both feet and says, "Enough has been put inside."
Gwal, you are a nobleman and champion. Rise and complete this task.
Of course.
Gwal did as Pool described, but as soon as his feet were in the bag, Pool shook the bag so Gwal fell head over heels inside, and then he shut the bag and called for his men. Each man struck the bag until Gwal cried out.
Listen to me. Hey, listen. Death in a bag is no proper end for me.
He speaks the truth. That wouldn't be a proper death.
Well, then, listen to me. I'll tell you what to do. In your job, it's standard to fulfill the requests of beggars and minstrels. Tell Gwal to give presents on your behalf, and have him pinky promise that he will never try to seek revenge, now or later. That's punishment enough.
Yes, he'll get what he wants, definitely.
I accept the wise words of Hevid and Rhiannon.
Well,
that is our
advice.
Then I take it. I'll follow your words.
Then, under the direction of Havid, Pool drew up a list of sureties and Gwal was released from the bag.
Say your conditions and terms.
I'm happy with what Rhiannon said.
Thus, the sureties were arranged.
I'm hurt and needing a healing bath, so if you say it's okay, I'll go now, but I'll leave some of my men behind to speak on my behalf if anyone has a request.
Sounds good to me.
After Gwal departed, the hall was made ready for Pool and Rhiannon's wedding celebration. They feasted and partied until night, and at the end of the night, Pool and Rhiannon retired to their chamber. The next morning, the celebrations continued.
Lord, rise now and begin to appease the minstrels. Do not refuse anyone who asks for a gift.
Gladly, today and every day, for as long as the feast lasts, every request will be satisfied.
Every request except possession of me. Right?
Yes, right. Every request except possession of Rhiannon.
And so the feast went on, and no one was turned away. The next day, Pool and Rhiannon departed for Arbroath, where they were received by an assembly of the noblest men and women in the land. So ends the story of the marriage of Pool, head of Annowyn, and Rhiannon.